Hi, this is Jacob with IndieHangover, and this is Cede, the game of combat farming, which we saw at PAX East 2018. So this game is about regrowing a barren rock floating in space. And you can do that in two ways, by shooting things and by beating up enemies, both of which are turned into grass. And you've got a couple of sidekicks that will grow other plants, which become very useful. So here we are, just shooting some seeds to get some grass growing. And you see down by the mini-map, there's a little bar. It's got 4 little symbols on it and 3 kind of sections. Your goal is to fill up all of those sections. In a sense, filling up enough of the barren space of this rock with vegetation that it becomes a bit of a paradise. However, it's not that easy. You're assaulted by a whole butt ton of enemies that are very, very willing to kill you to see this planet remain barren. Now you can see there's a couple of little plants here that are helping me out by shooting beams. So those plants are grown by your 2 little friends, and there's actually there's a third friend on your back. He's the one actually shooting the seeds. So there's a plant that will shoot little flower bombs, I guess, at enemies, so turrets basically. But there's also a plant that will occasionally drop health berries, which you'll see. Oh, there's one right there. That's a health berry, the little red guy. Now I've just picked up this plant. The reason I'm doing that is because you can pick up plants and carry them around with you, and they'll kind of just be a mobile version of what they do. In talking to the developers, they've already stated that the plan is to have a whole bunch of different plants available that you can use, kind of a little bit of a turret defense kind of vibe going on. And as well, these 3 characters you can actually swap out. So you could take the guy that is shooting seeds and swap him out to be one of the guys that's following you around, not actually on your back. And he will do something differently than the other 2 guys you've got out now. So there's a fair bit of play customization already accounted for, if you will. So we're into the second bar now, and this is where I find this demo gets very difficult. Is filling up the last bit of that second bar and the final bar. You can play this demo. This is pre-alpha version, so it's still very rough. But I think it's a really good proof of concept. I think there's a lot of potential for this this kind of gameplay cycle of beating enemies up and growing plants and swapping out different types of plants, to suit your play style. There's actually quite a bit of differing play elements going on here, because you not only have to brawl your way through all the enemies trying to get you, but you have to balance expanding your territory with defending your territory. So you can take your time, beat up enemies on grass that already exists to grow more turrets and health plants, or launch out into kind of the space the enemies have control of and grow more grass. Ultimately, which is your ultimate goal, really. So this is being made by Bare Hands Indie Studio. We saw them at PAX East, as I said. Really cool group of guys, and I think they've hit on something that's really kind of cool. This idea of combat farming. It's not something I've seen elsewhere, and I'm interested to see how they expand it, because you can see in the background that there's that big orange glowing planet. So the idea of the story is that planet used to be this lush, verdant paradise, but it was destroyed, and it became a wasteland. So you're tasked with reversing that. So essentially, you're going to go around finding all these hunks of the planet that have broken off, and regrowing them, turning them into these little, small gardens of all these strange plants. And over time, those regrown sections are going to come back into the center of the planet and create this wonderful place full of vegetation and not completely blown up. There was the mention that they wanted you to see, as you go to these different places, them slowly get pulled back into the planet. So kind of in the skybox, as you're fighting all these enemies, you can see the work you've been doing, which I think that's a cool idea. I like it when you can see your progression in kind of uncharacteristic ways or unique ways. So I'm taking my time here. And I'm mainly doing that because you can die very quickly in this gameplay. But I think I'm gonna be able. Let's get over here. All right, yeah. Let's take my time. I'm gonna take my time and grow some more turrets, some more health pots. I find you really want to get the health plant and carry that around in your bubble. Otherwise, it's very tough. Alright, so they're both growing. You can see a perfect example of them there, of both these little guys growing the different plants. Let's grow another one. So those roly guys are really easy to kill, but they do a lot. They eat up a lot of grass. So you gotta watch them. Alright, come on. This third bar is tough. Let's go down to where we began this adventure. Because I haven't really spent any time here, so we should be able to make some headway pretty quickly. Oof. Yeah, okay. I do think that this game absolutely needs some sort of targeting system. I kind of feel like there's the density of enemies is a little bit high at this point. It's kind of just a bit too chaotic. I feel like if they had a little bit fewer enemies that at the same time were a little bit more complicated, that might work well. I think that might work really well, actually. Alright, pick up these health pots. Let him grow that. Shoot a seed off the side of that. Keep crawling my way through. I'm so close. I don't really need to grow any more plants. I've got a veritable garden as it is right now. Alright, here's a good patch of barren rock we can fight our way through. Come on, so close. Come on. Don't want to die. Alright, let's be patient. Perhaps doesn't make for quite as good gameplay footage, but dying doesn't make for good gameplay footage either. Come on. Oh, I'm so close. Like I said, this is probably the toughest part, is this last little bit, because you've already filled up so much of the planet. I gotta go back to the scary spot, I think. Oh, this could be good. This could be good. If we get these guys, yeah, okay. Let them grow that. Oh, here we go. Perfect. This ought to do it. Come on. And there it is. Alright, the golden seed falls. I gotta keep fighting, which I learned playing this earlier, and pick that up. And that is the pre-alpha demo for Cede, being made by Bare Hands. We'll have links to the pre-alpha demo if you want to check it out yourself and give it a little play, and to anything else informationally that might be useful.